Good day, my name is Gary Mays and I'll be providing an overview as to what a work breakdown schedule is, or what is commonly known as a WBS, the 3 reasons to use a WBS in your projects, and a few set rules when creating one. I will also run through an example of a WBS, so before I jump into the heart of one, a little history about it. It was initially developed by the U.S. Department of Defense to illustrate a product-oriented family tree that can relate to the elements of the work to be accomplished to each other. Then in the late 1980s, Project Management Institute, or PMI, expanded this concept and technique across other organizations. And so, as the expansion of the defining rules of PMI, so has the general application of the WBS. As a previous project manager that has started a project from the very beginning to the end, I cannot emphasize how important it is for proper planning. Also have your project management office team and be able to have them ready so that way the project manager can take those individuals and they can start delving up into the different types of tasks. And we're going to run through that here in just a few minutes. So what is a work breakdown structure? In simple terms, it's a structure that's used for breaking a project into easily manageable components that can define work groups and project work elements in a way that helps organize and define the project. Such as, when you look at this family hierarchical tree, you've got the project name that starts at the very top. Underneath there, you've got the task. And then from there, you've got subtasks and work packages. So when you first look at this, it might be a little confusing, but under the task, you've got the project manager would have his project management office, and each person from that office would work the concept, this is just an example, the website design, all the way over to support. From there, that person would have his own team that would break it down into the subtasks and all the way down to the work packages. And so in the work packages, we're talking to define user requirements, to define the server owner requirements. It's a lot to take in, but as a project manager or PM, it is our responsibility to put the interests of the project first, not just our own interests. Furthermore, as the PM of a project, we spend countless time in planning, managing, continuously assessing and controlling costs, to include the time, the quality, and all of the risks that are associated with running a project, and working towards gaining customer satisfaction. There are many other PM responsibilities, but this is just to name a few. Now, before I begin discussing the reasons for WBS, remember, the work breakdown structure is a foundation of your project. This means almost everything that occurs in the planning process after the creation of the WBS is directly related to the work breakdown structure. For example, project costs and time are estimated at the work package level, not for the project as a whole. And I'll illustrate more here in a little bit. Risks are identified at the work package level, not just of the project as a whole. This means that work packages are assigned to individuals by one of the PM's project management office staff, and that name is listed in the WBS as well. One of the key things that as a PM that we have to take into account is that managing the project is one of our responsibilities. We have to bring in certain types of structures and processes that's going to help us manage the entire project. To put this into perspective, the 3 reasons to use a WBS in your projects are: first is that it helps you accurately define and organize the scope of the total project. The most common way to do this is done by using a hierarchical tree, just like I've done right here. Tree structure, where each level of the structure breaks the project deliverables or objectives down to more specific and measurable work packages. The second reason is to help with the assigning responsibilities, resource allocation, monitoring the project, and controlling the project. The WBS makes the deliverables more precise and concrete so that the project management team knows exactly what has to be accomplished and within each deliverable. This also allows for better estimating of cost, risk, and time, because the PM can work from the smaller tasks back up to the level of the entire project. And third, it allows the PM to double check all the deliverables with the stakeholders and make sure that nothing's missing or overlapping. Now, under this auspice, PMI, Project Management Institute, lists a few rules that will help significantly when developing a work breakdown structure, which are: the first level is completed before the project is broken down further. Each level of the WBS is a smaller piece of the level that's above. Like for instance, we've got the task. Under concept, we now have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 subtasks that fall underneath there, underneath that one defined requirements. And then under the work package level, we've got 4. This is just an example. The project that you could be in control of, or you would use this type of WBS, it might even break it down even more. Deliverables in the WBS are not part of the project. Assign durations to activities associated with each package in the WBS. Develop the logic for the schedule, and in other words, define the predecessor and successor activities for each activity on the schedule. Select report formats for updating and tracking progress. By taking into account the reasons and rules when creating the WBS, the PM should decide on a set standard work breakdown structure format that will be used across the entire life cycle of the project and can be communicated widely so everyone will be speaking the same language. This can save relearning about the project lessons and also lay the groundwork for successful data gathering to aid in future cost estimates. To close, remember, whenever you set up a project work breakdown structure, think about how you'll be using it later in the project. Design the WBS that includes the team schedule, managerial assignments at the same time. The schedule and timeline will likely be formatted along the structure of the WBS. So this would be the structure for estimating costs and tracking earned value performance. This would definitely help the PM to track the costs and the progress of each manager. From there, from the WBS, all the data and information can then be transcribed using, as an example, Microsoft Project, where the PM can insert the text columns and the master schedule for the project charge codes and management names. I've got an example of one right here. Now, when you first look at this, you see lines, you see some type of line chart. Can anybody tell me what kind of line chart I'm referring to? If you said Gantt chart, you're absolutely correct. Lastly, if your project charge codes cannot be linked to the group or task assigned to specific managers, you will have no way, the PM will have no way to provide performance measurement feedback to managers and to stakeholders, all the while managing the costs and working towards reducing risk. Remember, it's the PM's job to manage the project from beginning to end, and I can't emphasize that enough. And one way this can be achieved is by using a work breakdown structure that illustrates the important concepts and processes of the project. Thank you.